I'm Hurricane Peter McNeely from Medfield, Mass. On Saturday night, watch me kick Tyson's
Mills lanes and stop that nonsense because they were starting to butt heads. Oh.
Tyson with a left hook, a right uppercut, down goes McNeely.
Tyson, and you know it. You hit me, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
Davis was a more determined.
Never insult Mike Tyson, and these fighters learned that the hard way. Cocky and confident before the bell, they mocked and tried to humiliate Tyson.
I don't walk around looking mean, coming on TV, looking sunglasses and look like a hitman. I don't do that. I don't have to do that.
But once the fight began, his fury exploded, and every word they said turned into punishment inside the ring.
Now the right combination. Steele steps in. Is it over? It's over. It's over.
In 1995, Hurricane Peter McNeely tried to humiliate Mike Tyson before their fight, showing wild confidence and taunting him in interviews. He said he would shock the world and destroy Tyson. Fans saw him as bold and fearless, thinking he might be the one to end Tyson's return.
If any one of you doesn't respect me or what I'm doing or what I've been doing for the last 3 months since it was been announced, and going against a guy like this, you'd have a big dump in your pants.
Peter said he would shock the world and do it for his grandfather.
This is for my grandfathers, my grandmothers, my father, my mother, Curly, my 3 brothers, last but not least, Snubby.
Mr. McNeely, what was it that you told your son?
And last but not least, Medfield!
But once he stepped into the ring, the storm didn't last long.
Stop that nonsense because they were starting to butt heads. Oh.
Tyson with a left hook, a right uppercut, down goes McNeely.
The fight ended in the first round at 1 minute and 29 seconds after his manager jumped in to stop it. After the fight, Peter McNeely admitted that all his pre-fight trash talk caught up to him once he faced Tyson's real power. He said he learned the hard way what it meant to step in with a legend. McNeely revealed he had trained relentlessly, fighting every few weeks, perfecting his hooks, and pushing himself old-school style. But nothing could truly prepare him for Tyson's intensity.
He told me how to fight. We marched. We had to get to Mike Tyson. People don't really understand this. To get to Mike Tyson, we had 37 fights in 44 months. If you figure
37 fights in 44
If you
months.
figure it out, it's a fight every 5 weeks for less than 4 years.
To get to Mike Tyson.
Old school.
Wow.
Old school. He was an old school guy. But you know what? I just seem to eat it up.
In 1986, Mike Tyson faced another pre-fight challenge, this time from Mitch "Blood" Green, a feared figure in the New York streets. Known as a gangster leader with a tough persona, Green was respected and feared in the underground boxing and street scene.
We a grudge match and a rematch. He hit me and he ran. He mocked me. This gonna be a fight. Tyson, and you know it. You hit me, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
Because of Mitch Green's fearsome persona, people doubted whether Tyson could even handle him. Green always had the size advantage, and his reputation as a feared figure in the streets made him seem untouchable.
So, who knows about Mitch Green? In fact, Mitch Green was the guy who fought Trevor Berbick just before he pulled off that upset and gave him a heck of a fight. So, Mitch Green, a tough kid from the streets of the Bronx and Harlem. Tyson from the streets of Brooklyn. We're here in the Garden. The old days, that's how they used to settle these neighborhood wars, interborough battle.
Fans and analysts questioned if the young Tyson could overcome both his power and his mental intimidation.
For Mike Tyson, nothing is more important than the opponents you pick for a fighter.
The strategy was to pick opponents he would not only beat, he would beat devastatingly.
When someone sees a Mike Tyson fight, we want them to leave the arena saying, when can we go see him again? And that's where Bill and I are scrupulously careful in determining who he fights and the style of the fighter.
But once the bell rang, Tyson unleashed his skill and strength, dominating the fight.
Probably. He's holding behind the head, which he allows those shots like that to land. Here again. Oh, what a left hand! And this is going to happen.
After the fight, Tyson explained he never aimed to destroy Mitch. Instead, he wanted to teach him a lesson, showing Mitch, who was full of himself, the real place he held against a true champion.
First fight here in the big room at the Garden. Were you satisfied with it? Almost definitely. I don't want to sound rudish or anything. I didn't want to knock him out or anything. I wanted to put a lot of pressure on him and make him decide himself whether to give up or not. He wouldn't get knocked out. If he hit him on the chin, he can't see the punch, and he would say, "Oh, I didn't see the punch, I got knocked out." So I lifted up himself, and as I must say, I must take my hat off. He's a very tough individual. That's a little bit odd. You're saying you didn't want to knock him out because you hit him some awfully tough punches for a guy who didn't want to knock the other guy out. Well, they were tough punches, but they weren't devastating punches. They were rugged punches. Boom. Because I knew he's a professional, and if he would have went down from the punches, that would have been the fact that he gave up. That's his problem. Is it your goal just to win it as quickly and as devastatingly as you can? Most definitely, but I wanted to give a 10-round good performance, which everybody liked.
In February 1989, Frank Bruno wasn't just any challenger. He was seen as a powerhouse, a British beast with unmatched strength and a bodybuilder's physique. He carried himself like a hero who could finally tame the monster that was Mike Tyson.
If Customado was in his, well, he is in his grave now, and you can see all them amateurs and them terrible people behind him, he would be turning in his grave. You know what I mean? To have all them people shouting confidence, he must be lacking in something. But I want to knock him out so good into Don King's lap and wipe him off the map because he's bad for boxing and his people are bad for boxing.
Before the fight, Bruno called Tyson bad for boxing and vowed to beat him so badly he'd never return.
A guy from England is coming to whip his It's quite simple, Charlie.
And he says, and we quote, "Nearly every single American I've run into wants me to teach Tyson a lesson. His own country wants me to kick his ass." Can I say that on television?
I can't really tell you how he's going to, a quick pace, fast pace, slow pace. All I'm going to tell you, I'm going to win and I'm going to knock him out right into Don King's. Hey, lad, only in America. You know what I mean? Quite simple. This is my time. This is Bruno's time. Tyson's had his time. You know, he's made his money. I'm going to do him a favor and knock him out right into Don King's lap. Well, just turn up on Saturday the 16th of March and you'll see how things are going to be different. I'm going to knock him right into Don King's lap. Quite simple. Not being flash, not being cocky. I've got a family to support. Knock out right into Don King's lap.
And then, the night of the fight finally came, and the atmosphere was electric with anticipation. Bruno entered with confidence, showing his size and power, hoping to make a statement.
Listen to Richard Steele. Obey instructions in the dressing room. I'm cautioning you again. Obey my commands at all times. Is there any questions?
But in the fifth round, Tyson unleashed his devastating combinations, and the referee stepped in, stopping the fight with a TKO.
Fight. It's all over. Michael Tyson wins on a fifth round TKO.
After the fight, everyone clearly saw the full extent of Tyson's power. Spectators and critics alike praised him, noting how he had regained the intense focus and determination that made him unstoppable in his prime. Observers remarked that Tyson's precision, speed, and ferocity were fully back, proving that despite any doubts, he remained one of boxing's most dominant and feared heavyweights.
He wins it again last night. I mentioned this earlier, that I thought he was extraordinarily vulnerable with his straight-on attack to jabs and uppercuts, and Bruno wasn't the guy to come through with that battle plan against Tyson. Now, Tyson had a lot going for him, but I just thought that he was vulnerable to that type of attack. What did you say?
Well, I thought he might have been, and certainly the ring rust has been a situation that has gotten in Tyson's way up until now. But I also thought that Bruno is a straight-up fighter. He has always been. I couldn't see how a man that Tyson beat 7 years ago in 5 rounds was going to do much better than that 7 years later, despite Tyson's incarceration. I was on Kiss FM's open line this morning, and we spoke about something that I think is the most important thing about Mike Tyson, and that's his focus. His focus has been reissued.
In 1990, Donovan "Razor" Ruddock, one of the most fearsome heavyweights, claimed before his fight that Mike Tyson was just a kid.
Mike Tyson is Mike Tyson. He's an ignorant little kid, you know what I mean? And he's going to be like that. I don't want to bring myself down to his level, so I don't really even want to cherish that thought. I'm going to go in there and we're going to fight, and that's the bottom line.
He confidently said Tyson could never reach his level, no matter how skilled he became, showing the arrogance and bravado that defined fighters of that era.
You know something, I'm not even dignified that with a hand. So you know I'm not dignified with that with a hand, because I'm not bring myself down to your level. There's something you can't buy in that class, and you don't got none of that.
Before the fight, Ruddock humiliated Tyson with harsh words, mocking his street upbringing and attacking his family background. He tried to get under Tyson's skin, claiming he was inexperienced. But in the ring, Tyson silenced all critics, proving his dominance and showing exactly where he truly belonged in boxing history.
You think because he grew up on the street and he didn't have a family, I guess, and all that kind of stuff. You have to go and lash out at the world.
But once they stepped in the ring, Tyson's power was undeniable. The fight ended in the 7th round when the referee stopped it, giving Tyson a technical knockout. Ruddock's trash talk was silenced, and Tyson proved why he was one of boxing's most feared heavyweights.
Now the right combination. Steele steps in. Is it over? It's over. It's over. And Mike Tyson has defeated Razor Ruddock.
Ruddock protested the stoppage, but in a post-fight interview, Tyson admitted he was saddened by it, explaining it was for Ruddock's safety and health. Fans who doubted Tyson before the fight gained new respect for him. Later, in their rematch, Tyson again emerged victorious, solidifying his dominance and proving his skill and power unmatched in the heavyweight division.
Were you surprised at the stoppage? What had happened?
Well, not really, but he was hurt. I figured probably Richard Steele made a decision that he thought was right. Even if he hadn't stopped, I would love to have stopped him and hurt him and put him out.
Give me a report card, your own report card on Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I never judged myself. I thought I was good that I won.
You have said that we have not yet seen the best of Mike Tyson. Have we seen the best of Mike Tyson after tonight?
No, not because I made a lot of mistakes, and I'm just trying. I'm doing my best to improve myself as a fighter.
Even after the rematch, where Mike Tyson won both fights, many critics and fans still doubted his skills. Some questioned whether the judges' decisions were fair.
Where some questions still remain about Mike Tyson, despite the fact he won a unanimous decision over Donovan Razor Ruddock tonight. Tyson improving his record to 41-1. Ruddock's record drops to 25-3-1. The judges' scoring was fairly decisive. Dalby Shirley had it 114-108. Art Lurie had the same score, 114-108, and Chuck Giampa had it 110, make it 113-109.
At that time, Tyson was often seen as a villain, and public opinion focused more on his controversies than his talent. People criticized his behavior, his persona, and even his style, making it harder for fans to appreciate his dominance despite clear victories in the ring.
Well, Mike Tyson wanted to show us tonight that we had the old Mike Tyson back, the great Mike Tyson. No, what we saw tonight was a very good heavyweight Mike Tyson who won and won decisively. We didn't see him jabbing his way in. We didn't see a lot of head movement. We didn't see terrific body punches, though there were some, and we didn't see the combinations like we have seen in the past. He's been very good right now, but we don't know if he's great anymore.
The second round was the round in which we saw the first knockdown of the fight. In fact, the only 2 knockdowns of the night.
On October 20th, 2000, Andrew Golota entered the arena full of arrogance. He laughed and mocked Mike Tyson, treating him like a child and underestimating his power.
He's over there laughing. We're up here laughing. Everybody laughing. This is serious stuff. We won't be laughing Friday. This is very serious. This is very, very serious.
Golota's confidence was clear, and he openly taunted Tyson, believing he would dominate and embarrass the former champion inside the ring.
You
gotta get in your corner, Andrew. What? You quit. What are you doing? Last second, the bell's gonna ring.
Он подвел всех.
But once Golota stepped into the ring, all his confidence vanished. Tyson unleashed a crushing shot to his left eye and cheek, a brutal blow that immediately revealed his devastating power.
Golota's got a problem by the left eye. He's got a cut. There was a clash of heads there. Just a little scrape by the side of the left eye. Now Tyson's going for him with those big trademark hooks. He's timing not quite there, though.
After the fight, Andrew Golota's bravado was shattered. The man who had laughed, mocked, and taunted Mike Tyson before the bell now stood humbled and shaken, unable to fully process the devastating defeat he had just endured. Golota admitted he was hurt, noting that the referee might have stopped the fight sooner to spare further punishment.
First of all, it wasn't my day today, but I got a headbutt. A referee didn't respond pretty much well as he's supposed to.
But you're a warrior, Andrew. You're a fighter. But you're a fighter. The crowd pays.
I got dizziness in my head. That's it.
What made you dizzy? Was it that first knockdown? What about the knockdown? Did you really recover from that knockdown at the end of the first round?
Actually, I was just sleep. I hasn't been hit very well. I was sleep.
People alike saw the night as one of boxing's more somber moments, marked not by triumph, but by disappointment. Analysts described Golota as a fighter who lacked true fortitude, someone unable to handle adversity when the stakes were highest.
I was disappointed in what actually took place. It just gave boxing another sad and a black eye for boxing. You know, I want to know how you can come and be a boxer and all of a sudden decide that you don't want to fight and walk out the ring. Evidently, he had some mental drama going on that he needs to sort out before he ever steps in the ring.
Even brief moments when the fight seemed to shift in his favor could not mask his mental frailty. In the end, the bout revealed a hard truth. Physical strength alone is never enough without courage, resilience, and the ability to face pressure in the ring.
He's a man that has not learned how to deal with adversity in the ring, and he's also a man who has a great fear of success. And interestingly, in this fight, he weathered that first knockdown, had gotten through the second round, claimed that he was butted by Tyson, and there may have been a clash of heads, was upset that referee Frank Garza did not step in and intervene. But again, we saw an Andrew Golota who couldn't deal with adversity, and an Andrew Golota who apparently was afraid of success because he was starting to get himself back into the rhythm of this fight against a less than menacing Tyson in the second round. So we saw all the frailties inside this head of Andrew Golota.
On December 22nd, 1986, Mike Tyson versus Trevor Berbick. Trevor Berbick looked confident, saying Mike is a brilliant kid, but he wants what's his, and that's enough for me to rage. He warned Tyson not to bother him.
I've been doing a good job. He's a good fighter. But now we meet me, I'm the champ. But don't bother me, you know. He's trying to get what I want, what I have. And that's enough for me to think about.
Analysts noted Berbick's confidence before the fight, but questioned whether he would look the same after facing the undisputed young Tyson, whose power and speed had already stunned the boxing world.
Youngest heavyweight champion ever. He is unbeaten with knockout after knockout. In fact, Tyson, the challenger, will be the favorite. Berbick respects his younger opponent, but at a news conference today in Las Vegas, well, he was still very, very confident that his experience will win out in the end.
I've been doing a good job. He's a good fighter. But now we meet me, I'm the champ. But don't bother me, you know. He's trying to get what I want, what I have. And that's enough for me to think about.
Sounds confident, doesn't it?
Of course. We always sound confident. Then after the fight, it may sound different. You never know.
The bell rang, and once they stepped in the ring, he unleashed his combinations, knocking Berbick to the canvas effortlessly, leaving the crowd in awe of his raw skill and ferocity.
He's done that all right, but that's not enough to hang on to a title. There he goes. There was a delay with that one. It was a peach of a punch in boxing terms. Completely gone the legs.
This win instantly made everyone wonder, who could possibly stop this magnificent young Mike Tyson? His dominance seemed unstoppable, his presence terrifying even to seasoned heavyweights.
We're going to take you all the way in this World Heavyweight Championship to see what happens to Mike Tyson, whoever is going to stop this magnificent boxer.
Yet Tyson himself was humble. Post-fight, he admitted he didn't see it as a full achievement. He still noticed mistakes in his technique and believed he could improve further.
At this time, that he too might tell you that there were mistakes that you made. And I'm sure that your thoughts were with Cuss after that fight that night.
Most definitely about that, because, you know, he helped develop my character, my skill and everything. And to proceed to match something like this, he prepared me, knowing that one day I would fight for the title and be the youngest champion ever. And it was heavy. Like you say, if I had to come home to him the next night, I would stay upstairs in my room because I knew I would hear so much criticism, all the mistakes that I'd done.
Alex, quickly, a final question for Mike.
Well, I think Mike just hit the crux of the problem that he will face in his quest to become a great champion. He said character. And Cuss was a great believer in character. What are you going to do, Michael, to cope with all the pressures and the temptations to the self-discipline that's going to be necessary for you to become a great champion?
Well, I know my job. I know what I have to do. And I feel at my job, I'm the best at what I do. And the other things that determine your greatness and everything, you just have to prove by longevity, fighting and beating everyone around.
Even in victory, Tyson's focus remained on refining his skills, pushing harder, and striving for perfection in every move. This fight cemented the beginning of Tyson's legendary rise. A young fighter, unstoppable, yet disciplined and hungry for more.
He was saying, I'm going head crazy. Hit the body first and then hit him to the head. He said, you're throwing too many punches to the head, which he was right. But then I said, okay, Kevin, don't worry about it. Because I knew the fight, within a few more rounds, the fight was over. I really deep down believed he wasn't going to last this round.
All right, Alex, let's take a look now at round two. And I'm sure at this point, you were one of those who were convinced that Mike was going to make short work of Trevor Berbick.
Yeah, he looked very powerful. He'd hurt him early in that round. I was very surprised, as was Angelo Dundee working Berbick's corner, that he continued to remain right in front of Michael. There's the right hand, and down goes Berbick.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.